Netherton Daily Chronicle, Evening Edition, February 2nd, 1926. Good evening, dear listeners. Edmund Pruitt addressing you as the village clock strikes 6 on this Tuesday, which has unfolded with the gentle steadiness that February's second day seemed to promise from its earliest hours. The day unfolded as Mr. Higgins anticipated, with the westerly breeze arriving during the early afternoon and bringing intervals of brightness that lingered well into the later hours, creating what Mrs. Pemberton describes as the sort of February afternoon when the garden begins to believe spring might actually keep its appointment this year, and the hellebores seem rather pleased with themselves for having trusted the calendar. This morning's Candlemas service drew a heartening congregation to the church, with the pupils of the village school joining their elders for the blessing of candles. The Reverend Holloway's brief procession through the nave proved a moving sight, the soft glow of carried tapers casting warm light upon the faces of young and old alike. Following the service, the church flower committee undertook the traditional removal of the Christmas greenery that had graced the sanctuary since Advent, with Mrs. Hammond directing the careful work of taking down the holly and ivy that marked the season now concluded. The tea room's Candlemas pancakes drew appreciative custom throughout the day, with Mrs. Hartley reporting that the golden syrup pot required replenishing before the afternoon concluded. Watson spent much of the busier hours stationed beside the display cabinet, his whiskers occasionally twitching at the passage of laden plates between kitchen and tables, in a manner Mrs. Hartley interprets as quality assurance of the most conscientious variety. Mrs. Pemberton shares an observation from her afternoon garden inspection. The snowdrops along her south-facing border have opened their first blooms, those flowers sometimes called Candlemas bells for their habit of appearing at precisely this time of year. The lady notes their arrival as a small affirmation that the calendar and the garden remain in conversation, each keeping faith with the other, as they have done since long before any of us were here to notice. Mrs. Barnes's leghorn hen produced its afternoon egg at 2:15, maintaining what Dr. Peterson characterizes as the steady February productivity one anticipates from a bird, whose January record established expectations she appears content to meet. That concludes our evening report. This is Edmund Pruitt bidding you good night from St. Mary Netherton, where Tuesday draws to a close with snowdrops blooming and the quiet satisfaction of traditions observed.